Hi everybody, welcome back to Sticks and Stones Wood Carving. And today what we're going to do is we're going to continue learning with our hand tools. We're going to make another simple little project, and we're going to focus on giving it some hair, all right, a little bit better, and show you guys how to do that. And it's still good practice for using our hand tools and learning more about them. If you would like to see how to carve a wood spirit, not a wood spirit, but an eye with just a knife, I did put a tutorial over there on the beginner channel at Kevin's Carvings. You can always go check that out. And I want to mention one thing. I'm starting to put a lot of shorts on because soon YouTube will monetize shorts and everything else. And I am always creating stuff and I'm playing with new stuff. I like to animate things. So if you enjoy different entertainment and sometimes you don't have something to watch and you want to just look at some funny stuff, all right? A lot of the shorts, that's what they're going to be about. They're just going to be wood carvings that I've made, that I've animated, and they'll be talking and, telling jokes and whatever. Some people don't like that. Other people, hey, if you get bored, you can go into the shorts when you have nothing to do. Maybe it'll keep you guys on the channel a little bit more. They're for entertainment more than for trying to get subs. So, I'm not really targeting them towards getting people to come to the channel for subbing. If you want to come to the channel of the woodcarve, you come to the channel of the woodcarve. If you're already a subscriber, I'm putting them on mainly for those that, you get bored sometimes and you got nothing to watch. You can always go into the shorts and get a little laugh and check them out. So give me some feedback on them. Let me know what you think. But like I said, that's what that is. It is what it is. So the new people that come into the channel might not like them because they think it's about wood carving, but hopefully when they hit the channel, they'll see we do have some good videos on wood carving on the channel. That's what it's all about. So we'll see what happens, but I like them. I think they're fun to make. I think they're fun to watch. So if you don't like that type of thing, you don't have to watch the shorts. I'm really not going to stress over it, but I will keep creating them, and hopefully it'll give you guys something else to watch, when you get a little bit bored at night and you want a chuckle or two. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to take another piece of basswood, a small piece. We're going to get our detail knives dropped up here, and we're going to start carving it again using just our hand tools, and we'll try and put some hair on this guy. All right. I still got some polishing compound on my knife here, so let me give it a quick strop. And we'll take this piece that we already made our eye. This is the eye we did with just the knife on the other channel. So like I said, you can always go over, check out there. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, click the bell icon. I'm going to start putting a lot of content on that channel. And that, like I said, is geared towards beginners. So when we move ahead on this channel, and there's still a lot of questions, hopefully the ones that are going to that channel will have those questions answered before they even start a project here that's a little more advanced. Okay. Let's go. All right, so again, I think we covered enough eyes on this channel. I got my palm set out. I got my detail knife in my hand. I have a 1-inch thick by 3-inch piece of basswood, like always. And we're going to start by rounding him off just a little bit. And we'll try to get a quick little face in here. And we'll focus on putting some hair on him. Okay, so I'm just going to round him over a little bit with my knife, using a detail knife here. It's a flex cut knife, for those before you ask. All right. If you're here all the time, you know. All right, and we're just going to start a little rounded space here so we can actually do our wood spirit on. All right. Let me get my marker here. Might as well go through this like always. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our marker and we're going to do that. All right. Now I'm going to get my V tool out. We're going to go straight across. Well, not straight, but follow the arc. All right. And we'll cut this hairline in quick. Keep your fingers out of the way. All right. And that's all we're going to do there. Now we're going to come down a little bit. We're going to go to about here, maybe a little bit. About here. All right, we'll make this pretty wide. Take your V-tool again. Same thing. Just go straight across. And cut a nice little space in there that we can put some cuts up into. And hopefully that'll stop. Now the third one, what we're going to do is we're going to take our gouge. All right, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to make sure that this is pretty rounded. All right, let's push a little bit of this wood up in here first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, round this over pretty good. So that gouge will make a nice smooth cut. And we'll review the nose quick. And we'll put that in quick with our 8mm gouge here. Okay, that's the sweep that I'm using here. So we're going to come down, maybe not as far as before. We'll come about here. We're going to push that in. We're going to give it a little bit of a turn. And we're going to come up to that cut, pop that chip out. All right. Now I might want to do it again by pushing down. Make sure that I'm getting that cut a little bit deeper. Sometimes I like to turn it over so I can kind of turn it and get that set in better. And I'll take a little bit more wood out. Just like that. Now if I have it messed up like right here, because the cuts are a little different, right, I can either shave down from the top and smooth that all together and see where I'm at, and then recut it if I don't like it. And clean it up with my detail knife. A lot of times you'd have to take a lot more wood out here to get this cut a little bit better. It didn't seem to work on this small piece as good as I wanted it to, but that's okay. We're a wood carver. We'll fix it. All right. But I do want the roundness of that gouge for this nose. So I'm just cleaning this up a little bit. Go in the corner over here and we'll take that little piece out. I'm trying to make myself enough room. I should have used a bigger gouge is what it is. It really needs to go across if I want to do a nose. This little piece of wood and that gouge just aren't going to work too good. But again, it's good to review. So we're going to take this, invert it, put it upside down. All right. And the big thing here is when I push this in, you have to turn it this way so this corner of your gouge is going to dig into that wood, okay? So I'm going to invert my gouge, put it about here, all right? And we're going to push that into the wood and make sure that we're getting that left-hand corner in there, all right? And turn it a little bit. Make sure you're getting that in. So when you take your removal cut out here, all right? Boy, these little things are hard to hold. These little pieces. So we can get that out. These little pieces of wood are a little bit tough. But you get the idea of what I'm doing here. All right. Gouge that out, clean it out. So that way we have a nice rounded cut. We're going to do the same on this side. Yeah, this gouge is a little bit big for this size wood. So we're going to do the same thing. But again, the important cut here is right there on the right hand side, all right? This one down here at the bottom. So then when we come up and we scoop this out, we can get that chip, and it's going to leave that type of clean out right there, okay? So that's how we're going to form it. Now, if this gouge was a little bit smaller, it would have probably worked a lot better, but since I have this tool, I don't really have a gouge. I need one a little bit smaller than this to make this size nose on this carving, but that's okay. Now we have that. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take my detail knife, and I'm just going to come up to the corner here, all right? And we're going to take this down just a little bit and clean that out, all right? And the same here. I'm going to angle it this way, leaving a little bit of room, you know, on the side of that nose at the top. And we'll push that up and clean that out. That way when we start setting our wings of our nostrils in, it'll be a lot easier. All right. What size gouge do I have? This one's going to be, see, this one's going to be too small. So I'm going to have to stick with this number 8, and it's just going to have to be a big wide nose. So what we're going to do is come over to the side now, make sure that angled back. That's why I took my knife and did that. You can do that as much as you want. Right now he's still a little flat. We haven't angled too much back, but if you want to take it back a little bit more, just to be safe, okay, you can always do that. All right, take your knife, angle, all right. That way when we push this into the side of the face, it's going to be a lot easier for us. Now we're going to slide this down very slowly, dig it in once we get to the end of where we want to go, just like that. And then we'll flip it over and we'll remove that chip with the same gouge, just like that, okay? To set that nose in. Now, if I want to set it in, I really like it, I'll make sure the bottom cut comes down under, just like that. Make sure you're in the same cut. Twist it, turn it, really set it in. Come down to the bottom here and take that chip out. If I can get it, there we go. And that'll start setting that wing of the nose in there. Get a little bit more here. And see how that starts wrapping that wing of the nose around. All right, we set it in a little bit more. Again, I'm leaning towards the bottom of my cut there. All right, and then when we clean this up in here, just that little piece, and we make our cut for our mustache or whatever, that little wing of the nose is going to extend under the nose just a little bit, and it'll make it look a lot more natural than just stopping over here on the side. Okay, now let's do the other side. We'll try and make this fairly symmetrical. Let's just do a little cut here and see if that's going to look about right. It's fairly close. I might have to take it in a little bit more. Maybe about there. Yeah, it might not look too bad. All right, so you want to experiment with it first. And make sure that you're getting the nose the size that you want, all right? And then I'll set my cut in deeper, that one I like. So, and again, down at the corner, when I turn my gouge, I'm going to make sure I lean into that bottom a little bit more. So then when we cut this out, just like that, and we clean out that cut, we'll have the wing of our nose in already, and it's going underneath a little bit better. Now we can take our small gouge. That one's a little big. I'll take a little smaller one, and we can clean the inside of that out. That's why it's good to have all these different size gouges, okay? You can just lightly clean them out. And we have all of our cuts fairly clean. All right, now we haven't done anything up here at the eyebrows yet. So if we want to start making him start, see how he's flat here? All this needs to get pushed back and angled up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and we're going to angle this back and put it up underneath the hairline up here, all right? So I'm going to start at about 3/4 of the way down, and I'm just going to push up at a 45-degree angle, kind of rolling my knife, and then we'll take that out and we'll see what we got. All right, that puts a divot up here in his head. All right, now let's take that and extend it into that V cut all the way. Hold on. Okay, and we'll just take all of this and start pushing it up, angling that forehead back all the way around. And at the top, just use a little stop cut. Re-stop cut it so it pops out. All right. That's all I'm doing is kind of smoothing and angling all of that back so it all flows together across the forehead. All right. And at the top, to get the chip out, just run your knife across and get a nice clean stop cut again, because we can always bury his forehead in more and deeper. All right, over here needs to come out a little bit more if I want to make it symmetrical. So I'll take a little bit more there, pop that chip out, clean it up just a little bit. And now his forehead's rounding over, and now that'll start pushing back. And then we'll separate the eyebrows and we'll push it back even more. And then when we do the beard down here, we'll have a better profile. All right, so I'm going to round some of this off next. Just take your time, get used to what your tools actually do. All right. No need to hurry. All right, now from here, I'm going to take my V tool. That's not my V tool. We're going to separate the eyebrows here. All right, so I'm going to do that by flipping this over. I'm going to take my V tool and I'm going to put it right in the center and come down to the nose just like that. Okay, then I'm going to flip it around and go up. Now we separated those eyebrows. Okay, again, I'm going to 45 degrees up right above those eyebrows and take some wood out. All right, and that right there will separate those eyebrows and start smoothing the forehead as it rounds back and get it to tuck underneath that hairline. So now he's got a couple little eyes. His eyebrows, we have a spot that are separated, and now he's starting to angle back. So once we take all this out, we'll get his nose to stick out once we take the cheeks down. Okay, so nice and easy so far. Let's move to the next step. Okay, on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my big gouge here, and right over here on the sides underneath the nose, I'm going to give myself a little room by taking some wood out. So I really like to suck those cheeks in. So I'm just going to come right off the wood just like that and take some wood out and kind of hollow his face here. All right, I'm going to flip it over and do it on the other side too. Get a little more out here. And this is how you can get different effects and different looks. Just depends on the more you do it or the less. All right, I'm going to do it on this side. I'm going to flip this over, come under his nose here. I'm going to take some wood out here. Go right off the wood. Just like that. Okay, now if it's not even, I'll take a little more out over here. And so we made those two cuts, all right? Now we can round all this over with our detail knife and kind of blend that all together. Like I said, take your time, sit there and relax and enjoy it. There's no need to rush anything, all right? I'm just gonna round this whole thing over, and then we'll decide what kind of mustache and everything else, which we are going to do a mustache on this guy today, because this really is going to be about detailing with our hand tools, and doing the hair is really I'm just making a quick wood spirit to do it on. Okay, all right, so we're working on rounding this over. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. It'll just be easier, and keep rounding this. Okay, just a simple push cut. Notice how I have my thumb on my knife here, and I'm just rocking my blade. Okay, no danger of getting cut there unless I put my fingers in the front of it, which isn't too hard to do sometimes. You gotta watch. This right here is a paring cut to come up like this. Try not to cut your nose off. Use little ones when you get to the top, because we want to make sure we have all that wood out so his nose sticks out, and we want to keep it easy for us to do what we want to do. Okay, I don't know how much of that nose I want to take out here. I'm not going to make it too deep, but with every little cut, They'll start shaping a little bit more. All right, so we got this starting to round over. And the purpose for that is it's just going to make everything easier to cut when we start putting his mustache in. All right. Down here a little bit more maybe. And I'll take this little edge off down here and keep smoothing until we have it fairly running together pretty smoothly. Okay. Even over here. All right. So that's all I'm doing is shaping everything so it'll all go together when we put our cuts in with our hand tools. Okay. All right, so we have that kind of rounded over now. What kind of mustache do we want on this guy is the big question. All right. Oh, I took a piece out of the nose somehow. We're going to have to fix that. All right. Let me clean this up just for a sec. Sometimes you hit the nose. That's okay. You're a wood carver. Fix it. Okay. I was talking to an 80-year-old man who was making fish when I first started wood carving, and I started practicing faces years ago. And I was breaking my noses left and right. And he gave me the best piece of advice. I said, what do I do if I break a nose? You know, I keep popping them off. And again, I was just learning and I was getting aggravated. And he gave me a little piece of advice that made sense. And he said, well, you're a wood carver now, aren't you? Carve another one. Learn how to fix it. Carving's all about troubleshooting. So that was my advice from him. But he was right. You break it, you recarve it. I mean, that's about all you can do. All right. And it teaches you how to troubleshoot and fix things. All right. Enough of that rambling. Let's come over here. I want to deepen these eyes. So I'm going to take my V tool and I'm just going to use that and give myself a little bit more opening here for slits. And on this side, I'm going to carve up. The other side, I'm going from here over. Okay. Just to give that a little bit more shadow while this is in my hand. Now I'm going to use this to come right around the nose here. All right. Dig in. And then we're just going to go down like that. And that's going to help start forming our mustache. And it gives you a nice deep cut over here on the sides to start cleaning that nose up and defining it a little bit. All right. Just like that. So just go around that nose and then down off the side. All right. And then once we do that, we'll take our knife. We're going to put it right here on the wing of the nose, and we're going to dig it in just to where the nose stops. Come over here, make a V cut, and we're going to take that chip out right here, if I can do it without breaking anything. Just like that. All right. And if you nick the nose, just kind of shave it with your detail knife and fix that. All right, a little chip stuck in there. I don't want to pick at it too much and get it out, but trying to clean this. I should use a gouge for that because that's how I break my nose, is picking at this little piece with my knife. All right, and the same over here. I'm going to set this in with my knife by digging it in, going around it a little bit. Okay, making sure that that wing is set in where I want it. Then stop cut, pull that down. Now I have a V cut there, and I'll take a little bit out to create that shadow that I'm looking for here in the corner. If I can get that out. There you go. All right. And then clean up any pieces that are run away on you there. And anything we chip up, we'll clean up later with our smaller tools. All right, so now we're getting some depth over here around the nose. I still need a little bit more over here to make it even with how deep this cut is. Because once I round this over, this nostril, and I push it into that cut, it is different. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect and exactly the same, but you want them fairly close, all right? So we're going to take some of that out and try and round that back just a little bit more. All right, this nostril right here, I have a better wing on this side than over here. I might want to try and recut that. See if I can reshape this a little bit without messing everything up. Because we did hit that nose. And like I said, when you do have a little issue, you can always just recut and do it again. For instance, remaking the wing of that nose right there. Okay, and then we'll use our other tools to fix it. All right, so now we have that. Now I could dig these eyes out, or I could just make slits. We'll see how that goes and how much room I want to make up there, because I got the nose pretty close to here. We could always raise those eyebrows too if we need more room.